My name is Donnie Morrison. I work with Highlands and Islands Enterprise. I have a very interesting job. I work with technology, I work with broadband, I work with many different cultural things, I work with inward investment and creating jobs for people in our rural communities. E-health and telehealth have been subjects that we've looked at over the last sort of maybe 15 years now. Technology has always been a means of making these things work better. We've basically looked at ways that you can deliver public services in a much more efficient way. And I think, for an organisation like our own that has a responsibility for strengthening communities, if you take health or education away from a rural community, you really do have a challenge and people start to leave that community. We have people relocating into our villages within the Western Islands because connectivity allows them to work for companies all over the world. So we really have made a difference. We've built our own communications network here where the market wasn't really meeting the needs of our most rural communities. We've looked at that whole area. We've invested quite a lot of money in providing broadband services to our rural communities, and currently I'm working with the mobile industry to give better coverage for mobile phone technology right into our most distant villages. Families really want to keep in touch with their distant cousins or distant relatives, and technology of course is a great factor in that. When you get some elderly people who really don't want to travel anymore to these distant lands, you can use technology to really cut the distance, and we see a lot of examples of that happening. One of the things that I like about living it up is that it's looking at things from a different perspective. I think that is so important. There is a new kind of thinking going on there. It's really not accepting any of the norms as the way it has to be, and starting to look at very different ways of tackling some of these issues. And I really welcome that. I think it's fantastic that we're looking at these things now. Technology has been a feature of what we've done in the islands now for a number of years, from introducing digital communications a few years ago and moving towards digital television. All of these things have been really quite advanced here. We do find that being in a rural community like this, it's a good test bed for various technologies. We use wireless quite significantly throughout our communities to deliver digital services. So where terrain is a problem, we find that by using other technologies we're able to overcome all of these obstacles. I do believe that living it up is part of the way that we sustain our communities in the future.